Oh, I meant to start this before I started cutting, but now I'm going to cut up all the ingredients. We have the chicken breast. I've cut it into fours. Just, basically you want to cut them into even strips. I like to cut my chicken for my chicken salad into small pieces. Um, so I cut them like this way, but then I turn them on their sides and cut them lengthwise again, and that gives me the pieces typically that are small enough to my liking. You can always cut them bigger or smaller, however you prefer. I'm not gonna have you sit through this whole thing, but I was just kind of showing the process. The chicken is very tender. I did leave it sitting. Sometimes I'll prepare this chicken ahead of time and then make the chicken salad like the next day or whatever. When I do that, I don't cut the chicken. I let it cool completely, and then I put it in the fridge and I cut it when I am ready to use it. And that way, it just makes sure that all of the juices are still in the meat, because you don't want dry chicken. Not that this chicken really could be dry if you follow the steps. This is the chicken that I used in my other video, the brined chicken breast video. I know I don't necessarily give my information in the right order, but you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I've got chicken that are cut into little bite-sized pieces, roughly the same size. It's important. I'm going to cut up the rest of the chicken, and then I'll be back for the veg. This is the chicken all cut up. Very pretty, very seasoned, as you can tell. And now we're going to move on to the vegetables. I'm going to be using some mini tomatoes. I like these colorful ones just because they look really pretty in anything. I've got these little baby cucumbers. Again, I really like, I like these better than regular cucumbers because they're not filled with like the soft seedy core like the big one is. It's pretty much just like the firm part of the cucumber. And then we've got pre-cut celery, because I didn't want to deal with cleaning a big old thing of celery. Usually I do. Today I didn't. Well, last time when I bought these, I didn't. I actually bought these last time I made my chicken salad, and as you can tell, there's still quite a bit left. So, typically when I make chicken salad, I end up making it multiple times in a month because I have a lot of ingredients left over. I just have to buy more chicken. Anyway, I'm just going to cut these up into small pieces. I will show you that. Alright, so I'm going to cut these celery stalks up. I kind of just eyeball it as I go. There's a lot of meat here, so you want it, well, I want to have a good ratio of vegetables to meat, but maybe you like more meat than vegetables, or no vegetables at all. That's totally fine. I'm not doing this, but you could also put in like hard-boiled egg, or, whatever you like in salads. I cut my stalks into smaller stalks so that when I chop them, they are smaller pieces already. And I will turn it so that it faces the camera. I don't cut it too big. So you look, it's a very thin slice. I don't particularly care for celery most of the time, but in something like a chicken salad or like a regular salad, whatever, something that maybe is softer overall as a textural experience, it's good to have a crunch factor in there. If you don't like that, that's fine. Other crunchy things that I have put in salads, you could do like seeds, almond slivers. I don't really do like the softer nuts like pecans or almond or walnuts, because I just feel like they don't add to the crunch. They're kind of soft, so they're only gonna, they just don't sit well with me in a salad, but I do like them. Hey, maybe it's good. So anyways, I'm gonna continue cutting. Alright, and so now I've got this little pile of thinly sliced celery. I'm going to use these little cucumbers. I found a big boy in there. It's a good thing I used them because some of the ones in the cucumbers are going bad. So we're going to finish up what we can. Ooh, this one's not good. So with these little guys, you know, you can pretty much look at them and tell if they are good. But then if you can't tell and you pick them up and they're kind of spongy, you don't want a spongy cucumber. Yeah, see, maybe there's going to be less cucumbers in here than I thought, and that's okay. I'd rather not put it in if it's questionable, you know. It's my own fault for not using them fast enough. The cucumbers, I'm blocking with another cucumber, but I've cut the ends off, and then I realize I've been cutting like mostly out of frame. That's bad. Cut off the ends, and then I split them in half, and I'm actually going to cut them in again. So basically the cucumber is now in quarter strips, and just gonna cut little pieces. Actually kind of works better if you cut them like halved, you know. I'll show you. As you see, they don't want to like stay together, so once again, cut off the ends. And then we're going to cut them in half and cut them in half. And so they kind of, if you just take 2/4 of one side and you know, the flat edge makes it so they don't want to get away. I'm trying to evenly cut as best as I can. I'm no like pro, so some of them are a little thicker than others. Oh my god, this one didn't cut. I need to sharpen my knife, maybe. And then one more. So we're gonna, well, I got a few more. We're gonna continue. And then it's time for my tiny tomatoes. Some of these are also looking a little rough, but it's kind of hard to tell when you buy tomatoes like in a package like that. I try to get like multiple colors involved because it just makes the salad look prettier. So I've got like some orange, red, yellow. I'm just gonna start with 6 pieces of tomato and go from there. These are kind of gushy, like when you cut into them, and I want to slice them for this. I should probably sharpen my knife, but I'm not gonna, or actually I might. I have a built-in knife sharpener on my cutting board, but it's not really practical to lift it up and use it when I'm using it. So I also have one on my knife block. And so I'm just gonna, all right, now we're gonna see if this tomato cuts a little better. So, sorry, it's mostly off screen. But yeah, so for this, I just want them in slices. Like, I probably should cut them in half. In fact, yeah, I'm probably gonna cut them in half. But it's easier to slice them first, in theory, and then cut the stack in half, because if you slice it in half first and then try to slice it like this, it'll just start smushing apart. Do what you like. The yellow ones tend to be a bit firmer. Got a little discard pile over here of either produce that wasn't good, so I put it aside, or like the ends of things. I find that the ends of not cucumbers, but celery that's already been pre-packaged, like sliced, they typically kind of have funky ends, like maybe they're just dry, I don't know, but I don't want it, so I just make a little pile of stuff that's to be thrown away. And yeah, so I'm gonna finish this up. All right, so this is my pile of veggies. Once I mix it in the chicken, I'll be able to tell if like I need to add more. I might actually throw in some onion, because I have some already chopped up red onion that I'd like to use before it goes out. Chicken salads are also a great way to just use up vegetables, you know, that you might already have. Yep, so I'm gonna mix these into here. I'll be right back. Alright, so I mixed all the veggies in, and I did end up throwing in the diced red onion I had. There wasn't much left, so I just figured may as well. It looks very pretty, but I'm going to need a sauce. Well, I'm going to use a sauce. My boyfriend does not like like mayonnaise based, like really creamy stuff. It's like a textural thing. So I have been trying to like make my own sauces and stuff like that. I am going to be using in this one this sort of Italian, yeah, yeah. I'm going to use this sort of Italian vinaigrette that I attempted to make. I'm not like super thrilled with it. I'm not going to give the recipe for it because like it's basic, it's okay, but it could have been better. However, it's going in this chicken salad because it's already pretty flavorful. This is mostly to keep moisture and, you know, a little added flavor, of course. You know, it's a basic vinaigrette, but it's got like a Parmesan and stuff in the bottom. So I'm going to be mixing that back up and then putting just enough in there to coat. So we'll get there. This is that same vinaigrette. It was like in the fridge after I made it last time, so the oil had congealed. It's a little thick still because it's only like partially liquefied again, but this is pretty fine for me because that means all the flavors and stuff I put in there, the seasonings, are not gonna like float away when I put my spoon in there, you know, separate, whatever. This is a good consistency for what I'm doing. All right, so I ended up using about 6 scoops in, I guess this is a teaspoon, of my homemade vinaigrette. And there we have it. You can use any vinaigrette you want.